just as in Sodom and Gomorrah, when Cyrus came in and overtook Babylon, there wasn't a man left, there wasn't a woman left, there wasn't even an oxen left. It's all. It's all. There wasn't no children, nothing. So we see that in Jeremiah 25:12, he prophesied it about the 70 years being completed that Israel would be held captive. He said, and the Lord said, I will punish the king of Babylon and that nation, the land of the Chaldeans, for their iniquity, says the Lord, and I will make it a perpetual desolation, which we see Daniel studied in 9:2. Cyrus was named 150 years before his birth. In Isaiah 44:28 and 45:1, it was written that he would set the captives free and rebuild the temple. Cyrus was a pagan king, which shows us it don't matter who's appointed president, God will use them for his instrument, for his to do what he wants. He used Babylon to judge other nations. So just because somebody's up in the White House or over an area or whatever, that don't mean God ain't going to use them. We don't have to like them. We don't have to understand. Cyrus was God's instrument. He was the destroyer of Babylon. He was a foreshadow of Christ. In Isaiah 45:1, we see he was called the Anointed One. In Isaiah 44:28, he was called a shepherd. In Isaiah 44:27 through 28, we saw the drying up of the rivers. The Euphrates was diverted. Now, what Cyrus did, he didn't come head on and attack Babylon, because it was like I said, it was almost impossible to penetrate those walls, those gates. But you know it had to be God that led him to divert the Euphrates River, drain the moats, and from what I read, there was people actually that let them in. I don't know. I'm not going to say for sure. I read that in a commentary. I can't back it up. But I know in Isaiah 44:27 and 28, it says the bars were cut. They got in. So, and in Isaiah 45:1 through 3, it says the gates were opened. Isaiah 48 through 14 was a divine decree of judgment. So, and like I said, Jeremiah 51 is just, it's powerful. And I think we've got plenty of time. I wanted to just touch on that a minute, because I'm going to tell you, when God says he's going to take something down, he takes it down. There's a lot to it. I encourage y'all to read the whole chapter of Jeremiah 51, so you can relate it to Daniel 5, because when you read the whole chapter, it's powerful. I'm going to start in 51:25. It says, Behold, I am against you, O destroying mountain. And mountain was the kings. Who destroys all the earth, says the Lord. I will stretch out my hand against you, roll you down from the rocks, and make you a burnt mountain. They shall not take from you a stone for a corner, nor a stone for a foundation, but you shall be desolate forever, says the Lord. Set up a banner in the land, blow the trumpet among the nations, prepare the nations against her, which was the Medes and Persians. Call the kingdoms together against her, Ararat, Mene, Ashkenaz. Appoint a general against her. Cause the horses to come up like bristling locusts. Prepare against her the nations with the kings of the Medes, all its governors and all its rulers, all the land of his dominion. And the land will tremble and sorrow, for every purpose of the Lord shall be performed against Babylon, to make the land of Babylon a desolation without inhabitation. The mighty men of Babylon have ceased fighting. They have remained in their strongholds. Their might has failed. They became like women. They have burned her dwelling places. The bars of her gate are broken. One runner will run to meet another, and one messenger to meet another, to show the king of Babylon that the city is taken on all sides. The passages are blocked. The reeds they have burned with fire, which they did to make sure nobody escaped. Nobody was hiding in the reeds. And the men of war are terrified. The daughter of Babylon is like a threshing floor. When it's time to thresh her, yet a little while, and the time will come. So the Lord was furious. The Lord was furious. And this system of Babylon, and Jeremiah, did I read 11? Okay. In 51:11 it said, the Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his plan is against Babylon to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord and the vengeance for his temple. So, the book of Daniel, we've seen the Antichrist spirit. We saw that first in Cain. The book of Daniel exposes a system. It's not just the Antichrist spirit. It's the Babylonian system that still operates today. We saw this for the first time with the Tower of Babel in Genesis 10 and 11. That was the first instance where we see God's divine judgment against a unified rebellion and pride. The Babylon system is political and spiritual. It's political as the world system and spiritual as the religious system. It's rooted in pride, rebellion, pagan worship, idolatry, materialism, immorality, self-pleasing, self-serving, putting man over God. It's full of persecution, oppression, and corruption. Now, we see this system operating in the world today. We see anti-Semitism. We see the Antichrist spirit that's, wanting to kill all the Jewish people. We see it operating in our government. We see it operating in the businesses of the world. We see it operating in our colleges, in our schools. There is not one aspect of our life that we do not see this Babylonian system functioning. The church has a major role here. The church has got to stand up and pray against this, because it doesn't just affect us, it affects generations after us. Because just as the Bible, everything in the Bible keeps repeating over and over. And just as the captives were taken and taken into Babylon, that Babylon system is trying to overtake us now. And if we don't stand up, if we don't stand in our authority that Christ gave us to overcome this devil, it will take us captive. Because don't think we will escape it. Jeremiah didn't. Ezekiel didn't. Daniel didn't. Every time the enemy came with his Babylonian system, wanting us to bow down to what they want, because it was all about bowing down to this system. That's where this one world religion is going to come in. They're going to say it's going to be something that makes you feel good, that puts God above man. Puts man above God. It's going to be a people-pleasing thing. It's not going to be a God thing. But where we see in the second coming of Christ will be the final death of the Babylonian system. And we see that in Revelation 17:2. It says, "Then one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and talked with me, saying to me, Come, I will show you the judgment of the great harlot, that is Babylon.